Blog Talk Radio.
This is Chris Barron, and you're listening to blogtalkradio.com featuring J-Ray.
Radio. That was metal-artist-songwriter Chris Barron with Necessary Evil. He is my special guest for today. He has a boxing background. I mean, this guy does everything, and I'm honored to have him on the show. Let's see if he's on the line, and let's see what we can get into. And I've actually chosen one of my favorite songs by Chris Barron, and I'll play that song later on. So let's see if he's on the line.
Yes, I am.
Chris, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Yo, Chris.
Hey, how are you?
What's going on, brother?
Oh, nothing much. Just sitting here having a cup of coffee, waiting to converse with you.
Ah, coffee's always good. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate that. What would
thank
you
for
like
being
to
here.
discuss today?
Oh, let's see here. You told me that you had a boxing background as well. I know you're a metal artist-songwriter, but first, can you tell us about, a little bit about your fighting background, like your little, like your boxing and what all you do, fighting-wise?
Sure. Okay. As far as the boxing goes, I've got 11 years amateur experience. I was undefeated as an amateur. Had about 60-plus fights. And I used to box as a welterweight, and that was about 80 pounds ago. And as far as martial arts, I studied Kempo Kung Fu with William Marsharelli. He's a 9-time world champion. And I studied with him for like 4 or 5 years when I was a youngin', about 15 to 19 years old. And I boxed from the time I was 9 up until I was 21. And, I occasionally go in and out of the gym just to keep up on my skills because, as anyone in martial arts knows, it's a perishable skill, so you have to keep up on it.
Absolutely. It's, martial arts is a discipline, but also it's good to have for self-defense. And I've known you for quite a while, Chris, and you can definitely take care of yourself.
Well, that comes from being the youngest of 5 boys, getting the shit kicked out of you. When you're a little kid and you're always fighting people 100 pounds more than you. I think I didn't lose my first fight till I was probably in my early 40s, and that's about it. I mean, anyone that tells you they've never gotten their ass kicked is full of shit. So I've worked as a bouncer, and more recently in the past few years, and been playing around the clubs in Boston, Providence, New York area with my band. And yeah, wow. And as I understand it, you've even opened for big bands, correct? Big through the years, really don't want to say who and where, but yeah, definitely. We've opened up for national acts, and we played primarily the college scene. Right now I'm putting together a new band and recording a new release for this summer release, and putting together some new shows with the new lineup that I'm working with. Wow.
That's awesome, Chris. That is really awesome. Because I'm a big fan of yours. I'm your biggest fan, Chris. You know that. So
I appreciate that. I just don't know what to do with all this fame and fortune with this blog talk radio. What am I going to do?
I know, right? And I got to do something really quick in case somebody wants to listen to the show by phone and they don't have, internet connection. So I got to do something really quick, Chris. So just give me like 2 seconds here. Let me see here. Here we go. If you want to listen to the show, here's the number to call.
Chime in and give Jay Ray a call at 818-532-9769. Give Jay Ray a call right now, 818-532-9762.
Okay, we are back with one of the best, I consider one of the best metal artists in the world, in my opinion, because, Chris, I'm always when I wake up in the morning, I'm always playing one of your songs. So.
Well, that's excellent. I wish more people felt that way. Maybe we'd have more recognition than we have.
Yeah, I'm sure they will, and I've seen your big drum set that you have, and I was like, wow. I mean, it astounded me, you know. It really did. Also, you know, Necessary Evil is a good song. It's a very good song. But out of all the songs that you've originally done, which is your favorite and why?
Well, I really don't have any particular favorites. Anybody that writes songs considers everything they put out to be, you know, at their best. But I do like to write about true past events in my life, and that song, Necessary Evil, was written about a true story, and has to do with a murder-suicide that happened back in '07. And, you know, my father was involved with that, and it was a real ugly domestic thing, and it turned out for the worse, but wrote a song about it, and that's how that came about. And
wow.
Today, let's put this to a song, you know. I mean, that's the best way to vent frustration and anger. It's another outlet, just like martial arts.
Oh yeah, and I want to let the people know that. Sorry about that, Chris. That was my dog. I wanted to let the people know that you did a cover song for me, "Fight to Survive."
Yes, I did.
It's a great song. It's a great song, and you've done different covers that are actually, I consider, better than the original versions of songs. So.
Well, that's an excellent compliment. I appreciate that. But you know, if the song wasn't great to begin with, I wouldn't have been able to, you know, do my version of it. But you know, I like to do songs that I like, not just basically anything that's popular at the time. I like to do kind of stuff that's, you know, obscure, but not so obscure that people don't know what it is. But you know, I try to write stuff that's interesting and play stuff that people can relate to. You know. And I know you got some CDs and stuff. Can you tell people how they can maybe purchase CDs from you and stuff if they want to buy CDs and stuff? Because I know you've got some CDs. Sure. Do you want to get that phone first?
No, I'm just going to let it ring, actually.
It might be a caller.
It's probably a call for someone else. But anyway, do you want to give people the information about that?
Sure. You can find our music on ReverbNation.com or go to MySpace, and you could buy direct from me. I'm going to be setting up a store on Reverb Nation, and you could also purchase the singles or the CDs on iTunes. I'm in the middle of putting that together real quick. In the meantime, you could always email me direct, and I'll be glad to send out CDs to anyone that wants them. And they're all around the local record stores here in town as well.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, folks, Chris makes wonderful CDs. I mean, each song is very, very good, you know. And, you know, not downing any artist or anything, but a lot of metal bands these days, you'll find just one song that's good on the whole CD. But with you, it's like you take more time in what you're doing, and, you know, every song is good. You know, and a lot of days you don't see that with a lot of these artists nowadays. So.
Well, you can tell most of the time when songs are just rushed and written in haste. I like to take my time, and it helps when you have your own studio equipment as well and recording software. Plus, you know, I've recorded a lot with my friend Joe Moody out of Providence, Rhode Island at Danger Multitrack, so case anyone's interested and they live in the Providence area or southeastern Mass area, I think everybody and anybody who knows him is always happy to record there. He does great work. So, but that's where I've done the majority of my stuff. So, and I continue to be friends with Joe. He's a great guy. I've known him since 1983.
Wow, that's great. That is awesome. That was my dog again, Chris. Apparently, she's a big fan of yours too. So, because every time I'm listening to a Baron song, she loves it. You know. So she's just telling you I'm a fan too. So, if it's all right with you, Chris, I have chosen one song that I would love to play. That is one of my absolute favorites. And if it's all right with you right now, I'd like to tell you the name of it, and then I'll play it, and then we can discuss the song. This one is called She Likes the Bad Boys by Chris Barron.
Let her roll, man.
That is a great, great song.
Thank you.
That is absolutely one of my favorites.
And it's one of the oldest, too.
Yeah, because, actually, to me, even though it might not mean the same thing to me, these days, all the girls, like the bad boys, they don't like the good guys, But can you tell me the story behind that song? Because it's one of my personal favorites. So
sure. Back in the day when I was, a youngster going to high school, my friend Mike had a sister, and of course I was always interested, and I thought she was beautiful. She was a cheerleader, gorgeous. And I said, Mike, what's up with your sister? Why is she always dating scumbags? They're always in and out of jail, and you figure she'd be with another jock or somebody, a like-minded individual. And he said, hey, Chris, she likes the bad boys. And I was like, boom, there was just a hook. I just heard it, and it just stuck with me. And that was like in the early 80s, and I didn't even put it to music until the late 90s. I think I wrote that song in 98, and it's on the 99 debut release from us. So that's how that came about.
Wow.
But nowadays, the bad boys is usually, the hip-hop culture, and, I don't get that nowadays, but, hey, anybody that's a professional artist is there because they're good at what they do. So I don't really knock any genre, but I really don't care for, hip-hop much. But, what metalhead does, right?
Exactly. It's like, your music actually, makes sense, and a lot of music these days just doesn't make sense, or they'll like auto-tune their voice, and I just hate that. Because like, it's not them actually singing, it's just them talking, and it's just auto-tune just, sucks. And
yeah, a lot of creative editing and studio gadgetry. I don't use any harmonizers or anything like that. Just basic stuff. It's all in the compression levels and production. So, of course, everybody uses a little bit of effects, but I don't cheat with, like, the falsettos and stuff. A lot of people have accused me of using, studio gadgets, vocoders and harmonizers and all kinds of crap. And it's like, you're an idiot. You don't know what you're talking about. Everybody that thinks they've got a cakewalk software thinks they're going to be major music producers, and it's ridiculous. A lot of the stuff out there sounds like it's been recorded on cell phones.
Yeah, exactly. It takes a lot to really produce a really good track. And it takes time, and it also takes money.
Oh, definitely
and
cash,
time,
sure.
even. So
yeah, definitely.
To actually get it professionally done, and people don't realize how time-consuming it is, and but it's rewarding at the same time. So.
Well, you and I were supposed to collaborate on a project, but I know you've been preoccupied with your show you got here, and I'm just glad you had me on. And let's play another song, man.
I wish I could, Chris, but it only allows me 3 tracks because I'm a free user. But if I had the premium version of this, I could have as many Baron songs as I wanted on here. But what I'm looking for eventually, Chris, is like sponsors that'll, pay for a premium show. That way I can do shows every week and have more options. So, but I will definitely endorse your stuff on here and definitely get you more fan based and everything. And I can't wait to see you get your stuff on iTunes and stuff. And you're gonna have to.
Well, the next thing I've got to do is like get a video for YouTube. I had some instructional drum videos that I was doing, but I want to put some performance videos together with the current band I have now and stuff. So everybody's making videos on YouTube, and everybody says to me, Chris, why don't you put something on YouTube? I'm like, well, because next time we play a show in the area, there'll be some dildo filming it on his cell phone and putting it on YouTube. So, but
exactly. And I just wanted to comment, Chris. We're still going to do that project. it's not dead, brother. We're still going to do it. I just need to get the proper equipment and all this, and so that we can do this. We're definitely going to be working together as artists. So
well, that's the beauty of the internet nowadays. You know, you don't have to get together with people. You can just email the tracks everywhere, as long as people have, you know, recording software. That's one good thing about it, as long as it's done well, you know.
Yeah, I got to get me a good, you know, microphone and everything, and I figured, you know, in the meantime, to give me something to do this little radio show, you know, and I will definitely endorse your stuff on my station and play commercials if you got any commercials, you know, endorsing your stuff. I will definitely do that as well to direct traffic to your stuff. Your stuff is great. So.
Well, I appreciate that. Any help I can get from anyone is definitely, you know, acknowledged, and I'm eternally grateful for anything you could do, man. I totally appreciate it. But we're right now in the middle of rehearsals and, you know, more recording. And like I said, you know, we've gotten local airplay, and we do okay, you know, in the tri-state area where I'm from. By the way, I'm from Massachusetts. I'm from New Bedford. I was born in Boston, but I live in New Bedford now, and, you know, I want to try to be in the middle of it. And there's a pretty good metal scene here down in Plymouth. Some of my friends that run Hollywood East, there's a plug for them. My friends Glenn and Bones, a couple good guys, and my buddy Mike that runs sound, Michael Santos. He's definitely a great sound engineer. There's a good metal scene around here in New Bedford, Plymouth, you know, and Providence and Boston. There's a lot of great bands, but there are fewer and fewer clubs to play, and it's tough, you know. And
wow.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. There might be half a dozen places worthy of playing around here in my area, you know, unless you're, you know, national act, then you have no problem getting in any place. But you know, these people that are still, you know, paying to play, and, you know, I'm done with, you know, playing for draft beer and Happy Meals, so you can have it. Don't need it. I do better selling my material on iTunes and just, you know, taking email requests, honest to God.
Yeah, and Chris, I was going to say we have 2 minutes left of the show. Is there anything else that you want to personally say to my audience out there? And I'm very grateful for your time and everything. It means a lot to me, and I've enjoyed having you on today as a guest.
I enjoyed being here. Thanks a lot. And I just want to let all my friends and family know that Baron's going to be out there this summer with a new lineup. I've got myself and Dave Mustang is the featured guitarist. He's great. He's from New Jersey, and he's been with me since like '09. So we're putting together a new band right now. We've got our drummer Anthony Zamboni. Honest to God, these are real names. And you can go visit us on MySpace or Reverb Nation, and I'm on Facebook as well. And anybody got anything to say, just, you know, chime in. I'm always returning emails and comments.
Absolutely, Chris. Well, we've only got 90 seconds, so I'm going to say goodbye to my audience and just say thank you for joining me, Chris. And I will be calling you just as soon as I'm off the air. So, but anyways, folks, I hope that you have enjoyed metal artist Chris Barron, and I did pronounce that right, Chris?
Yes, you did. Thank you.
Okay, well, make sure and purchase his stuff and get in contact with him and buy his stuff. But I hope you've enjoyed this episode of J. Ray Radio. Thank you for joining me.